Good morning and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to a football game, which is really exciting. We are going to Lynchburg, Virginia to a Liberty Flames game, which is my husband's alma mater. And I'm kind of scared that he can hear me, and I'm kind of nervous about that. This is my first time really vlogging with him, and I'm just really nervous for some reason. We have started our road trip. We are getting gas right now. There's my husband back there. And I don't know how much I'm actually going to film because I'm quite nervous filming around him for some reason. Plus, he really wants to listen to our playlist, which we have a really good Disney playlist, but we've listened to it a lot. So I think we're going to try one of our different playlists. We have a few different playlists that we listen to in the car. I think we have 7 hours, which is crazy and so long. And I'm going to be so bored. I feel like, well, maybe not bored, but just restless and don't want to just sit here for 7 hours. That just seems like a long time. So he really wants to listen to songs. I really just want to read books. So we'll see who gets their way. Let me show you what I brought with me in my little car bag. First of all, I brought my books. Well, I brought my tripod here in case I need it, and then I brought my books. So I'm currently reading Powerless. I'm on page 246. No, 276 of Powerless. So I don't know how far I am. I think 44% in with Powerless. I mean, why am I saying Powerless? Fearless. Okay, anyway. Fearless. I'm reading Fearless, and I'm 44% in right now. So this is what I'll read the majority of the time. But I also brought Layers, which I've really been wanting to read. Layers by Gennie Lynn. There's a chance that I'll also read this on this trip if I finish that. This is only a 1-day trip, like today, and then we go home tomorrow. So I don't think I'll get a whole lot of reading in. But 7 hours in the car is a long time, and I haven't read it on a road trip for a while. So we'll see. I do want to get some reading in. And then I have one ebook that I have right now. I have lots of ebooks on my Kindle app, but the one ebook that I'm currently reading is Dear Henry Love Edith or something. I'm only on chapter 2. So if I need a ebook, then I can read that. That's probably what I'll read if I read at the game. I don't want to take in my physical books, so I'll probably just read that ebook if I have spare time to read at the game. I'm going to go now. We'll probably listen to some music. I might get in some reading. We'll see. But I'm really excited. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and we'll see what I end up recording for you guys. I thought it was fake too. It's not actually fake. That actually did happen.
So it wasn't a tree?
It wasn't a tree.
Why'd you think it was a tree?
Because she said it was. This is just pure torture that I'm going through right now. Literal torture. It should be illegal to torture someone in this way. There's still this much book left.
She's gonna kill.
I'm so confused and sad.
There's construction ahead.
Hello, we just stopped for lunch. We went to Long John Silver's. We have 4 hours left in our journey, and I have just been reading Fearless this whole time, basically, since we've left the windy roads that are so horrible to try to read on. I've been reading Fearless, and I don't know how far, I'll have it on the screen how far I am, but page 416. And let me tell you, this book has had me in my feelings. I am not very emotional when I read, but this book had me feeling so many emotions. And I was like, it literally felt like my heart was ripped out, put back into my chest, ripped out again, put back into my chest again, ripped out again. And so it's currently still in the ripped out stage. I already see my husband coming back, so I can't talk too much. But this book has been so crazy, and I don't know how there's still so much book left and what I'm going to do, how I'm going to read it all. But we're going to continue to read and see if anything else emotional happens. And here's my husband with the food. Hello, we just stopped for gas. My husband is pumping the gas right now, and I think we have a little less than an hour left, or maybe just an hour left before we arrive, which is so exciting. I'm so excited for the game. This has just been such a fun trip to just read, and I really enjoyed Fearless so much. I just finished it a little while ago, and it was really crazy, but I did finish it, took some time to breathe and think over it. I still am not going I'm not ready to like write my review or anything, but I will have a lot of thoughts to share about it later, I'm sure. It has took me on a wild roller coaster of emotions, and this book, like, I feel like it has made me emote the most than any other book I've read, like feeling every single feeling I possibly could feel. And also, it had the most twists and turns than any other book that I've ever read. I've never read a book with that many twists. So I literally just finished the prologue of the next book that I'm starting. Layers by Gennie Lynn. I just started it, and I am not sure how I'm feeling about it yet. I literally just finished the prologue, and if you know me, then you know that I usually do not read prologues. I hate reading prologues because I never understand them. And do usually go back to the prologues after I've read most of the book, and then I'm like, oh, I see the connection there. But like before, I would not remember that, and I would not connect it to it anyway. But someone told me to read this prologue, so I did. And it was a more interesting prologue because it was more like a regular chapter of a book. Very interesting and gives me a lot of context about what this book is going to be about. But yeah, those are all my thoughts for now. I think he's about done pumping the gas and we're probably going to hit the road again. But I'm having so much fun just sitting and reading. I did not expect this to be what the video was, but this is fun. Hello, we are finally at our hotel. I didn't get a whole lot of footage at the game, but we did end up winning. It was a good game. We were winning a lot at the beginning, and then in the second half, we really were not winning. We did end up coming back and we won, and that's very exciting. And it was almost more fun that it was like kind of a close game. In the car, I was reading not Layers, I was reading Dear Henry Love Edith, and I'm really enjoying it so far. And in fact, I think I want to just continue reading that, and I'll probably pick this up again whenever we get into the car tomorrow because I don't think I'm really in the mood to read this right now. So I'll just continue reading on my phone, cozy, right before bed, and then just go to sleep. So, yeah. Hello, we are on the road again. Actually, right now we are stopped at Arby's to get a little lunch, but we are on our way home and it is bittersweet. I didn't get enough time in that hotel room last night, but the bed was so comfortable. I love hotel beds so much and it was so comfortable. I really could have just stayed up all night reading, but I knew I had to go to sleep, so eventually I did. But I really am enjoying that book that I was reading last night, Dear Henry Loved Edith, and I'm starting to understand the premise of the book, and it is so interesting to me. I'm really excited about that. I actually thought I would continue reading it whenever we started our road trip today, but I ended up not continuing it because I really wanted to read a physical book. So this whole trip I've been reading Layers by Jenny Lynn, and I'm halfway, almost exactly halfway right now. I'm on page 156 and there's 200 pages. I mean 300, and there's 300 pages. So I'm basically halfway through the book, and it is really good, really interesting. The writing reminds me a lot of Karen Kingsbury, who's one of my favorite Christian fiction authors. Just reminds me of a story that she would write, and I'm really enjoying it so far and excited to learn more about these characters because we're getting bits and pieces of their lives and their lives now, and what has happened that brought them to where they are now. And so we're getting more context about it, but there's still so many holes to the story that I need to know what happens, and I'm really excited to get all of that information. It's been a fun road trip. I was not expecting to read the whole road trip. I was expecting to get a good bit of reading done, but not this much. But it has been so fun just reading on this trip. And today we were listening to music and stuff, but I still was reading the whole time. And so I think I'll finish this by the time we get home. We have 4 hours and 22 minutes left, so I'm pretty sure I'll finish this before then. As soon as we get home, it'll be time for church, but I'll make sure to eventually give full reviews for all of the books that I've read so far. I really want to talk about Powerless completely without getting interrupted, so I'm really excited to do that. But yeah, we're just going to continue enjoying our road trip, and I'm going to continue reading Layers. Hello, I am back home. Actually, it's been quite a few days later. I kept forgetting to film this outro, and so I'm finally doing it now for you. So the first book that I read and want to talk about is Fearless. And Fearless is part of a trilogy, the Powerless trilogy. I really loved Powerful so much. It was one of my favorite books I've read this year. I enjoyed it so much. It is fantasy, but it's not very much fantasy. I really wouldn't even call it fantasy because it's not. I mean, it really just isn't. It's more of a romance with just a hint of fantasy, but barely any at all. And it was just really engaging, really fun to read, and really interesting. It is a thick book, and I feel like any thick books, it's harder for me to get into it, and it takes me a long time to read. But I still enjoyed the storyline so much. I loved Kai, I loved Peyton. There was so much tension, and I loved it so much. And I also found myself really enjoying the character Kit, who is Kai's brother, and who also likes Peyton maybe, or Peyton likes him. I don't know. It's kind of like a little love triangle going on between the three of them. And I really don't want to give too many spoilers for any of these books because I try to stay spoiler free, but some of this stuff might have spoilers, so I will have on the screen down here what you should skip ahead to if you don't want to hear spoilers, because there might be some spoilers. At the end of the book, it gets really crazy, and I started rethinking everything about what I thought about Kai, what I thought about Kit, what I thought about Peyton. I just completely changed my mind about all of it, and I was really nervous going into Reckless, but really excited because I wanted to know what was gonna happen, but I was like, this could be crazy and change my mind about everything, and it did. I read Reckless, and honestly, I really didn't enjoy it much. It was a lot slower and boring. In this book, Peyton is running for her life from Kai, who is the enforcer, and he is supposed to kill her, or he's supposed to bring her back to the king because she is an ordinary, and she also did something very bad that she needs punished for. The whole book is about Kai running after her, and needless to say, once again, it's a romance. I don't want to give too many spoilers about it, but it's a romance, and so a lot happens. But then book 3 begins where we left off in book 2, which is where Peyton arrives at the castle to meet the king. And so book 3, anything I say about it will definitely give spoilers for book 1 and book 2. But basically, in book 3, Peyton is in a relationship with a different guy. She's betrothed to a different guy, not Kai. but she loves Kai and Kai loves her. And so that part of the book I really did not like. Like the whole book felt kind of icky because she was cheating on the person she was betrothed to the whole time. And that just felt kind of weird to me. I really wasn't liking Kai because like he was not trying not to be with her. And so it just felt kind of icky to read a lot of the time. And so the beginning of the book, I really wasn't enjoying it. And I wasn't sure what I was going to think because it just felt not good, if that makes sense. But then you get to a certain part of the book and it goes down. There is so much going on. It was packed with so much stuff. And that's the part where I actually was like filming myself because I was just filming myself reading at that point, and a bunch of crazy stuff was happening. And like the craziest thing happened in this book, and I like say it in the video where I'm like, that wasn't a dream, that was real. And so if you know, you know. If you read Fearless before, you know what I'm talking about. And it was so crazy and so emotional. Oh my goodness. Like, I don't cry at books. I usually don't get that attached to characters, and I don't like get sad when things happen. A lot of times, like, it just depends on, you know, it just depends. But I really don't get that sad about books. But this book, I was sad, and I was not expecting it because I really wasn't that attached to the story. I wasn't really like feeling what was going on. Like it just, like I said, like I just wasn't sure what I was feeling up to this point because I did not like all the cheating that was happening in the book. And so I just didn't really feel attached to any of it. And so when things were happening that were like very crazy, I wasn't expecting to feel the way I did. It literally felt like torture because I was getting my heart ripped out. Like I was feeling so many emotions. Then it was like, oh wait, this might just be a dream, I don't know. And then it's like, oh, it's not a dream. And then so you feel happy, but like it just kept going back and forth. Like if this is real, if it is not real, it just got more and more intense, and like more things were being revealed. And it was just so crazy. So many plot twists, like so many plot twists. The most plot twists I've ever read in a book ever. And I've read the Timeless series, which has a ton of plot twists, but this book had the most plot twists ever. And it's like another one of those books where you just have to go back to the first book and read it all over again because wow, there's a lot that you were missing without all of the information. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that part. But I really enjoyed reading the book. Like it was slower. There were times where I was really bored, and then other times where I was really into it and could not stop reading. But for the most part, it was just really good and a really good ending. I don't say I would recommend this book to everyone because I definitely don't feel like it is for everyone. It's a romantasy. It has like dark moments in it. It is spice free, but they do talk about stuff, so it is a little bit more mature. It does have language in it. It's not completely clean, and so I wouldn't recommend it to everybody, but it is a really good storyline. It was very interesting and captivating, and I really, really loved Powerless. Reckless, I didn't really enjoy. Fearless, I wasn't expecting to enjoy as much as I did, and it still isn't as good as Powerless for sure, but like so many emotions, so many roller coasters, and I enjoyed going through those things. I feel like that's what reading is about, is to get that story and to get those experiences. And so that's why I enjoyed it so much, and that's why I ended up giving it 5 stars, because it just took me on a roller coaster of events and just kept me so entertained. And so I really liked it for that reason. Take all that with a grain of salt. Like I said, I would not recommend it to everybody, but I did personally really enjoy the series. And then after that I read Layers, and let me actually get Layers by Gennie Lynn. This is what the cover looks like. It is beautiful, and this is an indie author that I also met on Instagram, and this book is so beautiful. This book is a must read. I feel like especially if you're a Christian, you would really enjoy this book, but literally everyone needs to read this book. It is so good, and it's basically just talking about how one simple decision can change your life completely. And so it follows 2 different women, and they're kind of connected in a way, and so it's very much different than what I expected. And like I can't say too much without giving it away, because like the whole premise of the book is kind of like a secret almost. You don't really understand what's going on until you get to the big plot twist of what's going on. But it is so beautiful, so worth the read. There's a beautiful message written between the pages of this book. There's actually a lot of blank pages in this book, but they do mean something. And when I first read it, I wondered if I got like some kind of bad copy that like had mistakes in it or something, but they are intentionally left blank for a reason. And when it all comes together, it is so beautiful. It is just such an impactful story that could really touch a whole lot of lives. And I think it is a must read. I think it is beautiful. So yes, I definitely highly recommend this book. It also has 2 different love stories with the 2 women that we follow. Oh, and I also tabbed this book, which I was so much fun. I enjoyed tabbing all of the like quotes and stuff that I liked. Has a lot of spiritual elements in it and like faith factors in it, so that's really good. The author did also such a great job at writing. Like her actual writing is so good. I think it flows so well, and like the style kind of reminds me of Karen Kingsbury. So if you like that author, I think you'd really enjoy the style of this writing, especially like some of her like better books. I feel like it's just really good writing, and like I don't know, it just reminds me of that Christian fiction writing that's not cliche and that isn't cringy. Like a lot of Christian fiction can be cringy. This is not cringy at all, and it's just really good writing that's clean and good, and I just recommend it so much. And I think this is, I mean, it says the Glass Factor series, so this must be part of a series, which makes me super excited because this writer is really good, and I just love the message behind this book. And so I highly recommend it. I hope everyone gets their copies of Layers and reads it because it is so good. I loved it so much. And the 3rd book that I read on this trip was Dear Henry, Love Edith. I was reading this e-version copy of this book, and I'm probably actually going to talk about this book in another video because I've read it in a few different videos now because I still haven't finished it to this day. So I talk about it in a few other videos. And this book is really cute. It's a not a romantasy, it is a romantic comedy, and it is hilarious, ridiculously funny, but it's really fun. And so I'll talk about that after I finish the whole book in a different video, but I am enjoying that book a lot. So anyway, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. It's not what I thought. Like I just thought I was gonna vlog our trip and my time at the game, but it ended up mostly being just a reading vlog of me reading while being on my way to the game and on my way back. But it was so much fun. I always enjoy traveling because it means I get to sit in the car for hours and read. I read 2 fantastic books. So happy I finally read Layers because this has been on my TBR for a while, and I'm so glad I finally picked it up. Oh, by the way, this book is the best Christian fiction book I've ever read. Like, it's one of the best books ever that I ever read. It is amazing. And so go read it. But anyway, that's enough about that book. I know I just keep talking about it, but it's so good, and I'm so glad that I read it. It was such a fun trip, and I can't wait to go on another road trip again. We don't go on them as much, especially now that we are established here and are staying here. Let me know if you have any ideas for me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.